With good YouTube. They're gratitude when cartoon characters try to tell us something. A very popular video, 2 million views. Y'all suck, boy. Only 15,000 subs. People really suck. People really suck, bro. See something like this, 69,000 likes. So people went out the way to like it, but they couldn't even subscribe to my dog. I'm hoping it's not an AI voiceover. If it is, then the lack of subscribers makes sense. But I definitely want to go over this as I've been doing like the ranting type videos where I talk about, the philosophical depths of characters, shows, and certain narrative reasons for things, as well as just giving my take. If you'd like to see more stuff like that, more reactions like these, hit that sub button down below. Make sure you turn the bell on, and make sure you leave a little like. We always prefer a little like. And then when you sub, turn that noti bell. And if that's too much for you, Discord community is linked down in the description. You join that community, you get access to talking to me, other people in the community, and you'll be notified when I post YouTube videos, and when I go live on YouTube, and when I go live on Twitch. Without further ado, though, talk to me.
Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift.
That's why it's called the present.
That is why it is called the present.
Like the first anime
You don't
I've
have
ever
the right
watched.
to be sad. You never even had the guts to tell Margaret how you
I think this is about to be a motivational video.
feel. Listen, if you
I'm trying
leave
to-
things the way
you
they
know.
are now, you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
See what I was saying? You go down a path, never too far to turn around and make a different choice. He never wanted to express his feelings to her, and if he never did, it was something he was going to end up regretting. But even though it's going to be difficult now because you've been ignoring your feelings this entire time, it's better to do it now than to never have done it.
Telling her might not change anything, but at least you'll have closure.
You need
Facts.
to let go of the past
My goat.
so you could have a future.
The key in
Peak
life
Ice
is
Age.
to lie to yourself about reality. Smile through everything. All the bad things, well, you just pile them away in a place that will come back one day in the form of, I don't know, rage?
That is not what you do. He's somewhat right. You smile about things not because you want to lie to yourself about reality, but you smile about things because you need to learn from the end. To make this spiel very quick and concise, the placebo effect exists. You know what the placebo effect is? It's when, for example, I wanted you to take medicine. You don't know if the medicine's a sugar pill or the real medicine, but you feel better after taking it, and it was actually the sugar pill. Essentially, your mind can gaslight itself into believing something enough to where it becomes reality. The chances of the placebo effect occurring is around 25% to 30%. The reason why this is true is because you live from the end. To explain it simply, if I were to give you, two scenarios, real pill, fake pill. There's two branch scenarios from this. You get the real pill, you think it's the real pill, and you think the pill will help you. You get the real pill, you think it's the real pill, you don't think the pill will help you. You get the fake pill, you believe it's the real pill, and you think medicine will work. And you get the fake pill, you believe it's the real pill, and you believe the medicine don't work. 50% of those possibilities are people who are not going to think the medicine works. 25% of those possibilities are people who will get the medicine and think it works. So that's not placebo effect. But another 25%, 50 plus 25 plus 25 is 100. That other 25%, that 1/4 of the time, you'll give somebody the sugar pill, they'll think it's real, and they end up healing themselves, right? So knowing that that is something that exists, you have to realize that you control your own reality. Your perception is your reality, which means if you look at things from a different perspective, you can live a lot more fulfilled life. Take, for example, anger. I don't experience anger as often. I still feel emotions. I'm human. Someone steps on my shoe. I mean, honestly, I don't really get angry at something like that. But say someone broke my console or my $1,000 PC, I'm gonna be upset. This is something that I'm using, not only as a hobby and it's something you feel like is yours, so it breaking is gonna hurt. But take the shoe example. Anger can only happen if you let yourself have anger. Frustration, I think, is more natural than anger. I'd argue. Something happening and frustrating you is a effect of expectations slash beliefs being like thrown out the window. I wanted this to happen, it didn't happen, I'm frustrated. Angry is a response of something happened. It first kind of frustrates you. I didn't expect my shoe to get stepped on. My shoe's been stepped on, and then you repeat to yourself, man, stepped on my shoe. Why would he step on my shoe? And you take it personally, and then you respond with anger because you feel the need to defend yourself. You feel me? So living from the end is truly the best path, and it's not really lying to yourself if it is going to literally have you have a better outlook. Like studies show smiling makes you feel better. And if you've gone through something crazy, I know you're like, oh man, smiling ain't gonna help. I can smile right now and I'll still be crying. Of course, because you have trauma that is unprocessed. You first need to process that. And then when you start living from the end, you'll realize that situations won't get to that point where you feel traumatized because you go only where you want to go. You do the things that you want to do. There are some things that you do that you may not want to do, but it's because they lead to other things that you want, so you do them. You get what I'm saying? So me saying do what you want to do doesn't mean stop working your job. If you need your job to do something you want to do, keep your job. But the goal is not to have the job. The goal is to do those things you want to do. When you change your outlook that way, it becomes less of a job and more of an experience.
But everything's fine. I'll see you in bed.
Life's not a spectator sport. If watching is all you're gonna do, then you're gonna watch your life go by without you.
Oh my
Thanks.
God! I'm student of the month for 48 consecutive months!
Nerd.
Great, honey, great! But you know, it is Bart's birthday.
No, this is fine. Just let me fix this.
Okay, but see that. He's a kid, so it's expected for him to react that way. But you gotta understand that is like, you didn't have to get angry like that, right? Yes, I believe she's in the wrong because it's something that's happened 48 times. You shouldn't be surprised. Yes, you put hard work into it, but that doesn't define your life. His age, his growth is something that is important to him. So it's like, I saw somebody that's like, oh, it's crazy. And I'll wait till after, and I'm like, yo, mom, I have 48, you know what I'm saying, consecutive months of me being a student of the month. You know what I'm saying? But his response is as if he believes being student of the month is all that matters. I'm not student of the month. She's trying to make everything about her. You get what I'm saying? She has to always be better than me. That's where the anger comes from. I'm not saying I don't understand where bro's coming from. You get what I'm saying? Having anger be fleeting is not a result of me ignoring anger. It's the exact opposite. Instead of festering on it, understand where it comes from, why you're experiencing it. And it's easy to shut it down. Oh, I'm being jealous right now. Oh, she's tripping for real, but I don't need to take it that serious.
There. Now it's all about you.
So, what do you think you'll do? How are you going to spend your life?
I'm not sure.
So, I remember this movie.
But I do know. I'm gonna live every minute of it.
Facts.
Crazy is hard. You're getting
This is
all hung
peak.
up. All hung up on imaginary problems. You gotta focus on what's real, man. You see this cup? This is literally my favorite cup. Huh. Now it's gone forever, so it's not real, and I don't care about it anymore.
Facts. Also, keep in mind, in Adventure Time, Jake obtained Nirvana. He came back because he wanted to experience life with Finn again, and he said, I'd attain it again. So even in him obtaining Nirvana, he essentially transcended it. My understanding, this title, that is literally the purpose of life. Like, it's literally defined as the purpose of life in verse. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't mean more to me than my friend, because that's what's real. Enough said, bro.
It gets easier.
Huh?
Every day it gets a little
Love you,
easier.
Baboon.
Yeah?
But you gotta do it every day. That's the
That's a
hard
little
part. But it does get easier.
Facts.
Okay.
And that's why I always say this. We're born with two things. There's only two things we keep throughout our birth and until we pass. You're born with two weapons, your mind and your body. You need to strengthen those two things because those two things aren't what define you, but those two things are what allows you to get what you want. Those two things are what allow you to become what you want. Those things are what allow you to experience life. So in a situation where there's strife, Your mind and your body are your greatest weapons. They determine what outcomes you can find, what tools you can find, and how you get out of that situation.
So what? He's scared of love?
Everyone's scared of love, dipshit. You learn that in your 20s. It takes a very rare, very powerful being to be terrified of happiness.
Dumb.
You're dumb. That's why you're not scared to be happy. The smarter you are, the more you know. Happiness is a trap. It can't last forever. Let's say you meet the love of your life. Well, it's still gonna end.
Yes.
It's inevitable, whether by the slow pull of a disease or the shock of loose footing on a hiking trail, whether it be the corrosion of two personalities that reshape each other until they're incompatible, or maybe the old stranger in a bar who says the things that need to be said to that person that night. The point is, happiness always ends. Best case scenario,
Yes.
think about this. Best case is that you die at the same time.
Happiness does always end. It doesn't make happiness pointless, because that mindset is essentially like keeping yourself in the same place, and it is a mindset that will keep you depressed and make you want to game over, right? Everything ends. That is the beauty of life. You don't celebrate the fact that something ends. You celebrate the fact that it lasts until it doesn't. Think about fire. You need fire to cook things, right? There are two things that energize everything on the planet. Primarily the sun, and then primarily water. For a plant to exist, it needs water and sunlight. For us to exist, we need water and sunlight. The water and sunlight feeds the animals. The animals feed us. Everything we create thrives off water and sunlight. Without those things, you are in the rush, the emptiness, the vacuum of space. And even in the vacuum of the space, there's sunlight. So the fact that things end, the sun, that thing that powers you, eventually ends. Water, that thing eventually ends, because if it gets heated enough, it becomes gas. Even when something ends, it takes another form. What does that tell you? The end is only a new beginning. Our end is not something we can comprehend ourselves, because it is our end, but it doesn't mean it is the end. So knowing that it's the case, focusing on the end gets you nowhere. Oh, I'm getting in shape. I'm going to die eventually. Okay, bet. Let me just become fat and not care about my body. Okay, now I just moved my expiration date closer. Now I need to save my girlfriend's life, and I wasn't healthy enough to lift her up from this debris of cars, or this beam that's stuck on her leg. Making yourself weaker because you eventually cease living is like looking at the end and not living from the end. You get what I'm saying? It's essentially nihilism. It's assuming nothing has a point because everything is going to end. But again, the sun ends, and you can very clearly argue that the sun has a point. It gives us life. It keeps us warm. It's the reason our atmosphere exists the way it does. So next time you're thinking, oh, it's eventually going to end, it doesn't matter, start thinking about what happens if the sun ends, and the sun had the same mindset that you have in that moment. It's not a good mindset, and it leads to nothing good. Always remember, you care about what exists while it exists, not what exists and when it'll end, because you don't even know that.
Okay, Krabs, I'll let you stay, but first, help me settle a bet. If you had to choose between SpongeBob and all the money I have in my pocket,
He's
which
choosing
would
the
you
money
take?
in the pocket.
That depends.
Even if it's pennies.
How much money are we talking about?
Mr. Krabs!
62 cents.
I'll take the money.
Mr. Krabs!
Here you go, Krabs. 62 cents.
It's gonna be okay, kid. Sometimes losing people is part of life. But that doesn't mean you stop letting them in.
How did you find peace? I took away your parents. Everything. I scarred you for life.
See, that's the thing, Shen. Scars heal.
No, they don't. Wounds heal.
Oh yeah, what do scars do? They fade, I guess?
I don't care.
You see what I'm saying, though? I have a scar on my arm. You can barely see it now. Like, what, bro? They do.
Yeah, what scars do.
You should, Shen. You gotta let go of that stuff from the past, because it just doesn't matter. The only thing that matters.
Genuinely, think about that. He's a villain for the love of the game because, like Poe said, scars heal. So if you were to argue that I'm a villain because I'm scarred and I'm going through so much, but someone who's going through the same amount or worse is able to heal, you don't want to hear that in the moment because you're like, oh, okay, they're better than me, right? But you have to understand, it's not about them being better than you. It's about you using an existential situation as means to live in a way that you don't even get fulfillment from. In that case, you have to realize you're forcing yourself to suffer. You're not born evil. You're not born miserable. You are making yourself miserable and looking for an existential thing to blame it on. So you never find the peace. You never find the fulfillment, because even when you ask your own self, why am I miserable? You'll never say you. It's the same way people, when you ask them, name top 10 things you love, guess what? It's going to take them a very long time before they name themselves.
Is what you choose to be now.
You're right.
People just do something
Come
villainous.
on. Where's that baton?
My hope.
That Fatale is no more.
Listen, man, you may have given up on yourself, but your friends haven't given up on you. Are you just gonna turn your back on them and sit and eat borscht the rest of your life? Or are you gonna get out there and jump through that tiny little hoop?
It was such a small hoop, too.
It is impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
It was always impossible.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm a physics major. I have a math minor. Tell you this right now, nothing's impossible. Everything is very improbable. Everything is from a scale of improbability and possibility. There is a chance that this entire cup fades through this table. There's a chance that my entire hand fades to the table. You don't even touch atoms. The atoms that construct everything, your butt is not touching the chair you're sitting in. Your feet are not touching the ground you're standing on. But there's a strong enough charge, a strong enough force between those two atoms that they essentially have an equilibrium. That is why you have the illusion of touch. Touch isn't real. Touch is impossible. But guess what? We touch things all the time. Things have a feeling to us. They have a texture, right? And that is something that is impossible, but you experience it because life is on a scale of probabilities, and it's actually very probable that you can feel something. But there's a chance you're born without those receptors. The same way you think something's impossible, it's actually just improbable, and you get to determine the statistics that make that probable. The math can always be 1 in 300 trillion, but when you do that thing, and someone else does that thing, and someone else does that thing, it's no longer 1 in 3 trillion. It becomes, there's like 11 people on the planet, 3 out of that billion did it. Possibility is 3 out of 11 billion. Way smaller than 1 trillion.
Possible to tell.
It's way more possible. Or way bigger. My apologies.
That is why I loved it. Because I did the impossible.
Dad, don't make me go.
Son, we all have to do things we don't want to, like have jobs and family.
See? This mindset is not a good one to have because you end up not feeling fulfilled. There's nothing you should be doing that you don't want to do. Granted, like I said, there are things that you want to do, and if you need to do something else as a prerequisite for it, your mindset in doing it needs to stop being like, I had to do this, I'm cooked, and it needs to be instead, I want to do this, that. To do that, I need to, do this. So I technically want to do this by association, because if you don't want the job, you get rid of the idea of having the thing that requires the money. If you don't want, barring the fact that you can just pick a different job if you don't like that specific job. If you don't want the connection of family, but you don't want the responsibility of keeping people happy and having emotional interactions with other people, stop saying you want to have that connection because it doesn't exist without this other thing. You get what I'm saying? So never phrase it as I have to do something I don't want to do. It's something you want to do, and if that's not the case, stop doing it. You don't truly want this thing that comes after it. You haven't reached a level to where you have the taste for it. You're just forcing yourself to do it. It's like someone who isn't hungry but forces themselves to eat. It's like you're not enjoying it at that point. Even though the same food can keep you alive, you're essentially ruining it because you're in your own head.
Families and responsibilities and having to be Mr. Funny all the time. You think I wouldn't rather be living nude in the forest like some ancient pagan, just dancing around playing the pan flute? And here we are.
Nobody completes anybody. That's not a real thing. If you're lucky enough to find someone you can halfway tolerate, you sink your nails in and you don't let go, no matter what.
So what? I should just settle?
Yes, thank you. Exactly, settle. Because otherwise, you're just going to get older and harder and more alone. And you're going to do everything you can to fill that hole with friends and your career and meaningless sex, but the hole doesn't get filled. And one day, you're going to look around and you're going to realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you. And that is the loneliest feeling in the world.
You technically never have to settle. Yes, settling is a thing, and it's not a bad thing as it sounds. It's just like what I just said. If you want something, for example, a Ferrari, to get a Ferrari, you ignore the other ways like building connections with the company, and you want to just purchase it with your money. You have to get a job. If you don't want a job, you can't get the Ferrari because you don't have the money and you don't want to go to connections route. So you're going to settle for something that is not what you originally wanted. It is not settling in a negative context because it's not, oh, I wanted this, but this will do. It's more of a, I technically don't want this like I thought I did, so I got this thing. That is technically settling, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, but I think in a relationship, that's coming from, you know, a flawed narrator, somebody who's going through stuff, somebody whose life is kind of terrible. Bojack has done some things that have ruined his life. So I will say it's always better to live your life with your chest poked out, your chin face forward, and you paint those clouds with sunshine.
Want to hurt me?
If you know ball, you know
ball. Go right
ball.
ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you, but I don't like to hurt people's feelings. When you think what you want about me, I'm not changing. I like me. My kids like me. My friends like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
I'm deaf, straight up. And I've come for you, Puss in Boots.
But I'm still alive.
You know, I'm not a cat person. I find the very idea of 9 lives absurd. And you didn't value any of them. So, why don't I do us both a favor and take this last one now?
These days, they got a name for just about everything. It doesn't matter what they call you. It's the deeds make the man.
Yeah, but my deeds just made things worse. I'm a fraud. I'm a phony. My friends believed in me, but they need some kind of hero.
Then be a hero.
Oh, no. You don't understand. I'm not even supposed to be here.
That's right. You came a long way to find something that...
Come on. I'm not even supposed to be here. That's what everybody says when they accomplish anything great. Imposter syndrome. In his case, he hasn't attained the greatness that he's looking for yet, but you're the only person that decides if you belong in a room or not. And how you carry yourself and decisions you make are what allow you to get there. You know what I'm saying?
It isn't out here. Don't you see? It's not about you. It's about them.
But I can't go back.
Don't know that you got a choice, son. No man can walk out on his own story.
I'm sorry, SpongeBob, but Gary's with me now. You had your chance and you failed. You have to stop living in the past. Face it, SpongeBob, you're only hurting yourself.
I hate to break it to you, but what people call love is just a chemical reaction that compels animals to breed. It hits hard, Morty, then it slowly fades, leaving you stranded in a...
That's if... See, the chemical reaction that leads... that causes animals to breed isn't love. That's more of lust. You can get yourself to that point. That's why people have addictions to content online, OnlyFans, the Hub, things of that nature. It's because you can get yourself to that point if you think that's all that love is. But love is about a connection. That's the same way you love your wife, You love your mom, you love your dad, you love your son, but you love all those different people in very different ways. So I think his argument is very flawed here. Very smart guy, though.
A failing marriage. I did it. Your parents are gonna do
goat.
it. Break the cycle, Morty. Rise above. Focus on science.
I know what I have to do, but going back means I'll have to face my past.
Yeah.
I've been running from it for so long.
Once again, no matter how far down the road you go, you gotta face it and turn around. Because then once you actually get back to where you need to be, it's like, as they say, once you start learning, the L disappears. Because the loss disappears. Everything is an earning experience. I can lose a fight, but I gain experience because I'm not worried about win and lose. I'm worried about learning. I'm worried about becoming better.
Ow! Jeez, what was that for?
It doesn't matter.
He said Jesus. He didn't say all that.
Jeez, what was that for?
It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
Yeah, but it still hurts.
Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or
like when
learn
it hits
from
you.
it.
Weave.
Ah, you see? So what are you going to do?
I think it's time I told you
Such a
something
good
I
parent.
should have told you a long time ago.
Okay.
Come here. The secret ingredient is
love.
Nothing.
No.
Huh? You heard me. Nothing. There is no secret ingredient.
Wait. It's just plain old noodle soup?
Yes.
You don't add some kind of special sauce or something?
Don't have to. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
Spit.
Well, I'm sorry that things have been so hard for you, but that doesn't give you the right to be shitty to me. I can't be around someone who's just fueled by bitterness and negativity.
Well then, what are you doing here?
What happened?
Giving you a chance, bro.
Same thing that all.
Someone says something like that to you, and guess what I'm saying? This is where it literally takes you having to, like, make the choice and live from the end, bro. When someone says something like that to you, they're not saying that to antagonize you, because if they believe you're the person of negativity and bitterness that you have acted like, that doesn't mean you're that person yet. They would have no reason to say that to you. She would have finished that sentence and stormed off. So the fact that she's still there means that she sees potential in you, and your response is not, you know what, you're right. Let me look at this different. Your response is, man, what are you still doing here? Why are you trying to make them right? Prove them wrong.
Always happens. You didn't know me. Then you fell in love with me. And now you know me.
And now you'll leave.
You know, it's funny. When you look at someone through rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
But look how far we've come.
I just don't think I can do this. I'm never going
I don't
to
really
find
need
a home.
the camera being able to see this. Yeah.
You know, sometimes
I feel like I've
your
seen this
mind
before.
plays tricks on you. It can tell you you're no good, that it's all hopeless.
Also, your brain likes taking the path of least resistance. So, yeah, if you think giving up will help you, and that giving up's the solution, you'll think giving up is the solution. You know, if you think I have no choice, I have to befriend this person that I think is a bad human being, you do that, and then, you know, consequences follow. There's consequences behind every action, whether those consequences are good consequences, aka rewards, or they are bad consequences, aka an outcome that you do not like. Actions have consequences. Every action is an equal and opposite reaction.
But I've discovered this. You are loved and important. And you bring to this world things that no one else can.
Facts.
So hold on.
Each of us lives dependent and bound by our individual knowledge and our awareness. All that is what we call reality.
Excuses! Excuses! How am I supposed to?
I say this quite often, but your intuition is a part of who you are. because your intuition is formed by your past experiences.
Trust you when all you give me are excuses. When are you two gonna learn that your actions have consequences? Consequences that affect other people, like me. Don't you two understand? I'm about to lose my job. You may not care about keeping your jobs, but I care about keeping mine. Because if I lose my job, I have nothing. Do you hear me? I have nothing.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be.
Can't do both. I think I remember singing this movie.
Believe with every step.
Not just the first.
Oh yeah!
You got me right.
I still got you.
In the events we let go, we gotta keep going.
This is amazing.
Now, if we were to stop believing in ourselves,
Yeah, but just keep going. Don't look back. Just straight ahead.
why would you say that?
You still got the rope, right?
Yeah, I got it.
I am not afraid. Oh man, I could stay out here all day.
Oh no, I lost my pen.
You can borrow
That's how
mine.
it works.
Thanks.
I lost something once. I lost something I couldn't live without. My identity.
Do you ever look up at the stars and feel like they're tiny holes in the sky, sucking out all the oxygen, and suddenly you can't breathe because you're thinking about how small you are and how meaningless it all is?
I think about that low-key. But to me, it's the opposite. I find myself getting composure and kind of figuring out my place in the universe when I tend to think about how small we are. It's like the things that are important to me are also small, and the fact that they are conquerable by me. But I am the most important person in my story because we all live life from a first-person POV. And once you realize that, confidence issues kind of disappear. There are still going to be times when you feel as if you are not enough, but there are no times where you realize, like, there's better than you. You have to be who you are, for that is who you're meant to be. It truly is like an example of something not being easy, but it's simple. It's something that is you're very much capable of doing. Simply, like, oh yeah, these are the steps, you follow them, but it doesn't have to be easy to follow those steps.
I guess.
It's so cruel to let people love you. All you're doing is promising you'll one day break their hearts.
Hey, that's Gusto. I mean, look.
Great cooking is not for the faint of heart. You must be imaginative, strong-hearted. You must try things that may not work. And you must not let anyone define your limits because of where you come from. Your only limit is your soul. What I say is true. Anyone can cook. But only the fearless can be great.
Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are.
Facts.
It is the rest of your story,
That determines who you are.
who you choose to be.
Wake up to reality. Nothing ever goes as planned in this accursed world. The longer you live, the more you will realize that the only things that truly exist in this reality are merely pain, suffering, and futility. Listen. Everywhere you look in this world, wherever there is light, there will always be shadows to be found as well.
I agree. Because that is every action having a reaction. I don't believe every shadow has to be a negative thing, and I don't believe every source of light has to be a positive thing. Once you realize that, a statement like this to me doesn't rattle me, it doesn't shake my beliefs. It just has me understanding. It just makes more clear what's something that you should have already grasped somewhat. The fact that pain and suffering are everywhere, but because every action has an opposite reaction, pain can come from decisions you make, or pain can come sporadically, but if that pain is something that came sporadically, that means it leads to something as well. Everything's cause and effect. Just because pain was an effect of your action doesn't mean pain is always the effect of your actions. Get me? If that's the case, pain can also be a cause. And if pain is a cause, the effect can be a decision that you make. And that decision can either take you away from pain or bring you to more pain and suffering. No matter how hard life is, we have to fight, scream, and kick like hell. That is what makes us humans. When there's a ceiling in front of us, we smash it. If there's no path, we create one ourselves. That is not inspiration. That is not motivation. That is clarity. That is understanding of what is. And once you can do that, you get a power far greater than motivation or inspiration or even determination. You get something that allows you to persevere because you always see a step to move forward.
But why, Brian?
You wouldn't understand. You're just a kid.
Well, I could try.
Smartest
I don't
in
know.
their verse.
Sometimes it's all too much.
What is?
Life, everything. Just having the gun here, knowing there's a way out, it helps.
Sometime when you least expect it, you realize that someone loved you. And that means someone can love you again. That'll make you smile.
Why don't you like me?
Mr. Peanut Butter.
No, tell me.
Because I'm jealous.
Of what? Diane?
No. Of everything. Everything comes so easy for you.
Oh.
And then his response, you see things coming easy for someone else, but the results are what we see from labor. The amount of work you have to put in differs between the person, but that also determines other factors. Like if you had to put in more work than other guy, you're going to have more experience than other guy, which will help you in a later step in life that you cannot yet see. So if you only understand things as what currently is, you will always feel short-sighted and you will always trip up.
And it doesn't for you. You're a millionaire movie star with a girlfriend who loves you, acting in your dream movie. What more do you want? What else could the universe possibly owe you?
I
doesn't have happiness.
Want to feel good about myself. The way you do. And I don't know how. I don't know if I can.
Let me tell you something,
You gotta learn
Jay
it. It's a skill.
Batman doesn't do ships.
What?
As in relationships. There is no us. Batman and Joker are not a thing.
Good.
I don't need you. I don't need anyone.
Batman would never say something like
You
that.
mean nothing to me. No one does.
Batman would never
Which
say
way
something
does a
like
tree fall?
Down?
that. That's fire.
A tree falls the way it leans.
This is peak. I always
Be
think
careful
about that.
which way you lean.
That also goes back into the perspective point. Your life, let's say because your life has an end and something finite, which way does a tree fall? How did your life end? Based on how you lived during your life, based on how your perspective was. Because no matter what happens, how it affects you is determined by how you see things. So the same way a tree falls, the way it leans, you live the way you perceive.
Go for Morty.
Hi, Morty. It's Jessica. Look, can we just talk for a minute?
Is that how long it takes for Rick to trace my location?
Come back, Morty. I miss you.
You miss the old me. You miss someone that loved you so much you never had to love him back.
How do you know I don't want to love you?
Because I'm not sick.
What would Uncle do?
My God.
Look, you have to look within yourself to save yourself from your other self. Only then will your true self reveal itself.
What? Still? She's not coming back, dude. She's gone.
Look, I know, all right? I know. It's just... I mean, I don't still have feelings for her, but I do in a way. It's like this thing that's inside of me, and it's always just sort of sitting there, waiting around. And sometimes I'll see something, or I'll smell something, and it makes me think of her, even though I don't want to.
You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing shitty things and then feel bad about yourself like that makes it okay. You need to be better.
You are all the things that are wrong with you. It's not the alcohol or the drugs or any of the shitty things that happened to you in your career or when you were a kid.
It's you.
It's you.
At the end of the day, those things happen and are over. And even people who do those things Like, for example, he said he was jealous of the peanut butter, the dog, the golden retriever, for those of you who don't know Ball. So it's like, he isn't a peanut butter, he thinks his life is miserable as well. Not like fully miserable, but like he has said, like, you know, he's had those philosophical conversations. But the point really being, it's all a you thing, you know? Because he does the same things Bojack does. He drinks, he does stuff like that, but his life is where Bojack wants his life to be. So you can't blame the things that you've gone through for who you are now, when who you are now is a like direct representation of your decisions. Let me put it like this: past, present, and future don't exist in the way that you think they do. Your past is a foundation for your present. However, the past doesn't have to affect your present. It always tends to in some way, because it gives you the experience that makes your present, but you are in the present, so you get to make choices. I can have a hobby of drinking or smoking because in the past I was addicted. That doesn't mean I have to keep being addicted now because it is the present. I still have a choice. Vice versa, your present right now is the past for your future. Meaning the choices you make now form the habits that will be the thing that your future self either uses to its advantage. In the past, I was very studious. I need to write this paper. I know how to write papers. Or in the past, I was addicted to substances. Now your future you has to make a decision to either utilize what he gained from the past or to make a separate choice. Now, this is where it really gets trippy. That future is just the past for another future that will be your present when the future gets there. So the future never exists. The future is always present, because after you make a choice, time has moved forward. You're always in the future you while you're dealing with the present you, because the present you gives the foundation for the future you. So technically, the only two things that exist is past and present, right? Because the present choices are what makes the future. But you can also argue the same thing. Oh, well, because the past doesn't make the present doesn't make the future. But if you're making that argument, that means the future is the exact same as the present. And then if that's the case, it's not that the present makes the future, it's that the present is the future, while also being the future's past. It's a very complex thing.
All right? It's you.
I've enjoyed the chase, Gato. But I think we've reached the end now, you and I. You're gonna take the coward's way out? Run away to more lives? Or you gonna fight?
Pick up that sword, bro. Pick it up.
Come on,
so
pick it up.
Look, don't you get it? I screwed up. I mean, for 2 seconds, I thought that maybe I could do something right, but... I just... Just forget it. Forget it.
Now, you listen to me, James Hawkins. You got the makings of greatness in you, but you gotta take the helm and charge your own course. Stick to it, no matter the squalls. And when the time comes, you get the chance to really test the cut of your sails and show what you're made of. Well, I hope I'm there, catching some of the light coming off you that day.
Ooh, this was the end. See, if I didn't know, I would have paused it. It would send me to another video. Appreciate y'all guys for watching. More of a philosophical video. And as always, you know, time to catch me next. Stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. See you in the next. Peace.